wife dies, a widower gets an android version of his wife through modern technology. But when she discovers his dark secrets, she attempts to finish him. In the foreseeable future, as human demands increase, so do innovations. Marion Venter, creator of Wifelike Enterprises, is in an advertisement talking about his company that creates expensive android replicas of dead women for their widowers. The ad showcases that the companions are subservient to their respective owners. Seasoned policeman William Bradwell works to find stolen androids and return them home. He meets with Marion Venter in the Wifelike office and thanks him for making an android to resemble his deceased love, Meredith. Marion accepts his thanks and tells him to consider this a reward for all his hard work. An employee of Wifelike appears to inform him that his companion is ready for transport and that all of Meredith's data has been uploaded. When he looks at her, he recalls meeting Meredith for the first time. Meredith was part of an activist group seeking to end Wifelike. He returns home with his companion and teaches her to breathe and walk normally. The artificial Meredith comments how everything about the house and William feels familiar. He tells her to start learning about Meredith to become more like her and welcomes her home. At night, Meredith tells William that he can initiate intimacy mode to engage in intimate acts with her. After going through loads of menus, William is finally able to achieve the desired settings, but gets nervous when it's time to kiss her. To help him get comfortable, Meredith takes charge of pleasing him, and William finally gets used to her and takes command. Afterward, William tells Meredith to sleep with him, but Meredith has to charge to be fully prepared for the morning. She wishes him goodnight and goes to her charging station. From her window, she notices someone spying on her, who walks away when she notices him. The following morning, the two watch on television about a protest by SCARE, Sentient Citizens for AI Rights, a group of militant activists who seek to destroy the company for their AI exploitation, seeing the companions as slaves. William comments that the world has gone mad, and they're making his job more difficult, as a branch of their group is committing terrorist acts to accomplish their mission. Meredith hears a news report of SCARE abducting companions and wonders why someone would steal them. William explains that they steal robots from their owners, reprogram them, and use them to perform various crimes, including bombing buildings. The police cannot locate their leader, nicknamed the Ringmaster. William notices that in his breakfast, Meredith has replaced bacon with polenta, since bacon increases the risk of heart disease, and a companion cannot harm their owners in any way. But William tells her that Meredith wasn't vegan, so this goes against her character. Meredith says he can override this rule, but has to sign a waiver accepting the responsibility of the harm. As William leaves for work, Meredith kisses him and refers to him as husband, but William tells her to call him by his name. Back home, the artificial Meredith goes through the real Meredith's closet and makeup to learn how to appear more like her. William goes to a meeting at his police station where he's congratulated for recovering 10 units in a day, a remarkable feat for an officer. His partner, Jack Dirksen, asks who is the second highest police officer in recovery, and though it is Jack himself, Sergeant Steele mentions that no one cares about the second person. William asks her about any leads on the Ringmaster, but there are none, and the numbers of the SCARE are growing. William goes to recover another rogue companion known as Wendy, who manages to escape a SCARE lair despite being hacked. Despite Sergeant Steele's order to wait for backup, William goes to interrogate Wendy, who reveals that 2 more companions are being hacked inside, and the person responsible for this is called Jason Wilkes, as well as another man whom she couldn't see properly. William goes inside just as Jack rushes to give him backup. William finds the man shadowboxing with a mask on and knocks him out with a single punch. He then walks deeper and frees another companion, but Jason appears, holding the last companion hostage, and threatens to shoot her. But William tells him he cannot walk free. Jason tries to shoot William, but William is faster. Jack walks into the action, only to find corpses. That night, when Meredith goes dreaming, she meets IDO, her interactive dream operator. IDO shows Meredith a dream of a birthday party for her, arranged by William, who wishes her a happy birthday and kisses her. She's then taken away by Liddy, a popular model, whose twin sister Lady takes William away to dance. Liddy explains that, since this is her dream, Meredith can choose to create friends and enemies. She notices a strange masked man, who offers her a card and says this will help her remember. William goes to return the units of the raid to Wifelike and notices Liddy being reset. It is revealed that Liddy has a habit of getting lost and constant erratic behavior, requiring constant memory wipes. The following morning, Meredith asks IDO about the masked man in her dream, but IDO has no record of such a man in her dream. He asks if she wants to report this to Wifelike, but but she tells IDO to instead focus on Meredith's hobbies, as she has developed a sudden fascination with knitting. She knits the bird from the card given to her in her dream. She then goes out to cycle but is surprised by a woman standing in the road and ends up crashing her bike. The woman, Louise, a member of SCARE, tells her that she caused her to crash intentionally to help Meredith remember something. She also tells her that they're running out of time. She mentions the incident to William, who believes it was some woman jealous of android women. They then have a bath together. Afterward, William notices Meredith staring at a pond and comments how the real Meredith used to do the same. Meredith then reveals that she made a gift for William, but William notices Meredith referred to herself in first person, meaning she's gradually developing consciousness and a concept of self. When she presents the gift to William, he comments how the real Meredith didn't knit. He then tells her how he met the actual Meredith for the first time, and they kiss each other while confessing their love for one another. Before going to sleep, Meredith reads the diary of the real Meredith, in which she confesses her feelings about being with William. She then enters a dreamscape and tells the IDO to transport her to the dream where she first met William. However, the masked man appears in her dream instead. When Meredith questions him, he reveals that he knows her very intimately and is trying to make her remember. However, William wakes her up, saying that he's here to protect her. When Meredith questions the identity of the person hijacking her dreams, William says it's nothing and takes her to sleep with him. Secretly, however, William throws her gift in the dustbin. That night, Meredith comforts herself with recordings of the real Meredith. In the morning, she sings for William in different languages. William then goes to search for another companion, Lisa Musser, who was reported missing a year ago. He walks into the building where she's reported to be, and when the receptionist asks if he has an appointment, William immediately mentions that he's looking for Lisa Musser, which makes the receptionist nervous, proving that she is Lisa. However, she denies being Lisa and calls herself Rose. William can identify her, despite her new nose, hair, and eye color. She pleads to him that he doesn't have to do this, but William asks if she's still in contact with people who reprogrammed her. Lisa insists she walked out on her own, and that no one reprogrammed her, but William refuses to believe it since it goes against her programming. Despite her pleadings, William tells her to pack her stuff and come with her. Lisa wants to say farewell to a friend, and though William allows her to, Lisa instead decides that she'd rather die free and jumps from the building, much to everyone's surprise. Meanwhile, Meredith finds Louise in her home and questions how she got here, but Louise tells her she is developing consciousness much quicker this time, which surprises Meredith. Louise tells Meredith that they've met before, and she's aware of all her mannerisms and comments that she's acting very predictable. She tells her to wake up quickly since they're running out of time, and she's here to see how much Meredith has remembered. She also tells her that the man in the mask is eager to meet her, but Meredith tells her to leave as she's recording this conversation, and William will see this. Louise decides to leave a message for William, telling him that she is eager to meet him, and Keen is eager to meet Meredith. Meanwhile, William brings a broken Lisa back to life, and her owner becomes emotional when he sees her. He sees an ad of Marion introducing another innovation from Wifelike, Childlike, where the company offers android babies. William is shocked by this. He goes to meet Marion to inform him that Lisa jumped from the building herself, but Marion doesn't believe it and thinks it was either an accident or someone reprogrammed her. William insists that she chose death over bondage herself and that others could do so as well. Marion tells him that it is unlikely and even tries to bribe him, but William insists that if companions can select death for themselves, they can also harm their owners. Marion tells him that the road to the future can be a little bumpy and that he should focus on his job. When William comes home, he finds Meredith knitting another pillow cover in the pattern of a bird, since William dumped the previous one in the trash. She mentions that Louise was home, and though she acted odd, she felt nice chatting with her. William becomes suspicious but doesn't show it off. She then shows him the video recording of the day. Jack immediately calls William to help him get into the dreamscape that manages the companions and their thoughts to trace the point from where the masked man hacking into Meredith's brain. He tells Meredith to engage him in conversation and ask him for a meeting point, and William will go in her stead and arrest him. They send her to the dreamscape, and Meredith sees the dream of a haunted mansion. Once she's inside, as expected, Keen appears and even removes his mask. He tells Meredith that all her memories of him were systematically erased. He will keep coming for her. He gives her a card and tells her to memorize a location which is at 88 Wonder Street and meet him there. Meanwhile, Jack traces the location of the hack to downtown and sends a team over there while he tells William to go to the address and take Keen. Meredith wakes up and immediately comments that she was able to recognize his face, but William tells her to wait and goes to hunt Keen. When Jack's team breaks into the compound, they only find a briefcase filled with poisonous gas. William arrives at the address, only to find a masked mannequin seated at the bench. Realizing that it's a trap, he rushes home, only to find Meredith safe. She tells him that there was a knock on the door, but no one there, only a diary and a note for William. Meredith starts questioning whether Keen is a terrorist since he didn't abduct her like William said he would. William says she cannot trust anyone but him, but admits that he removed some memories of Meredith to protect her from something she did. When Meredith questions him about it, William finally reveals that this is not the first time that this has happened, as Keen managed to brainwash previous iterations of his Meredith replica. She was stolen by Scare before, and used in several bombing campaigns but was recovered by him. Though Wifelike wanted to destroy her, William convinced them to only wipe her memory of the experience. William gets a call from Jack to inform him of what happened. William realizes that the terrorists are always ahead of him because they've hacked into Meredith and could use her to spy on him. Deciding enough is enough, he tells Jack to send him into Meredith's dreamscape to confront Keen. Though Jack insists that confrontation in the dreamscape can have real-life consequences and is against the law, William insists that he only wishes to talk. However, once inside her dreamscape, William tells Meredith to walk away as far from him as possible, knowing that Jack can only see what Meredith sees, and tells her to wake up once her battery is at 10%. With Meredith gone, he questions how Keen is still alive, but Keen says that William can neither kill him nor what he represents. Despite his promises, William starts physically assaulting Keen. Meanwhile, Meredith enters a party, where other members of the Scare tell her to remember her past. Their fight also leads them to the party, where Keen insists that he will never stop coming for Meredith, and she will one day remember. Meredith notices William trying to choke Keen to death, but her battery reaches 10%, and she hurriedly wakes up. Jack confronts William about breaking his promise and refuses to help him again in breaking the law. William decides to wipe Meredith's memory again, but Meredith becomes emotional about it, saying she doesn't want to, as she will forget the time she spent with William again. But William says he will help her remember, and she has to trust him. Meredith is brought to Wifelike to have her memory wiped again. Before being submitted for the procedure, she has to wait in the waiting room with other androids and begins to talk to them. Most of them seem to be members of Scare and recognize her as one of their own. According to them, she has hidden memories in her hard drive and can access them even after they reboot her. Their leader, Ollie, says she can keep her memory despite being wiped, and she acts erratically deliberately to be sent to Wifelike for a memory wipe. Once in the waiting room, she passes her information to other companions to help them remember everything by hiding their memories in their dreams. Meredith goes exploring in her dreams to look for the memories of her previous iterations. After her memory is wiped again, she fools William into believing that she does not remember anything from the night before. Jack's girlfriend is visited by Louise, who delivers a USB to her and tells her to give it to Jack. William and Meredith go through a similar ritual of introduction, where William introduces himself as Meredith's husband, but Jack, who has Louise's USB from his girlfriend, says that he was never Meredith's husband. The USB contains proof that the man who they have identified as the ringleader, Keen Morrison, has been dead for a long time, killed by William, and only exists in Meredith's hard drive, which is why the police couldn't find him. Jack confronts William with this information. William admits that he killed Keen to take away his love. Jack decides to arrest William for this crime and revokes his companion ownership privilege, but William kills him. Meredith spies this from behind and remembers how William killed Keen, who was Meredith's actual boyfriend, and forced Meredith to live with him as he was in love with her. Their abusive relationship ended with William smothering her with a pillow in the same bird pattern that the companion Meredith keeps knitting, and putting an engagement ring on her dead body so he could have her remade as an android by Wifelike. She raises her strength to 100% and knocks William out. Meredith reveals that William has been manipulated from the start, with Louise using a mask and voice changer to impersonate Keen and reveal his true character to Jack. She now has proof that he also murdered the real Keen and stole the ring he planned to give to Meredith. She overrides her safety protocols and smothers William with the same pillow. She then returns to her Scare base, where she meets with other free companions. Meredith is the actual ringmaster and decides to take the next step in the coming revolution. Meanwhile, Marion puts out a public message convincing the public that the Scare was behind Jack's death. His company is prepared to take a more active role in the fight against Scare and the rogue companions. He reveals that William, now an android himself, will be in charge of this new effort. and the movie ends.